Verbally Effective with Ina Esco is an interview-style podcast that intersects art, culture, politics, and entertainment with a Memphis focus. Each week, I'm joined by a featured guest with roots in Memphis. Verbally Effective delves into each guest's personal journey to uncover the incredible stories fueling their purpose, the highs and lows of their pursuits, and how through their passion, they are moving the culture forward. Be sure to follow Verbally Effective and Ina Esco on Instagram. Also, download the Verbally Effective podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play Music. Don't forget to check out the website and submit to be a guest at verballyeffective.com. Hey guys, it's your Double E, Ina Esco, the host of the Verbally Effective podcast. You know, this podcast intersects art, culture, politics, entertainment with a Memphis focus, all powered by We Are Memphis. I need you guys to hit subscribe on all streaming platforms and that YouTube Ina Esco channel as well. Well, thanks for joining me today, ladies and gents. I have one of my good friends here with me who is all about Memphis, all about the community, all about housing, all about development. I'm talking about the president and CEO of the Downtown Memphis Commission, Mr. Paul Young. What's up, Paul?
What's up? Thank you for having me. Excited to be here with you.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. You know, I ran into you just the other week at Connect Memphis. They were having this big
hip hop architecture camp. It was an exciting opportunity to show kids the connection between hip hop and architecture, and just really trying to show kids how they can play a part in building up our own city and using music as a way to connect. I thought it was really creative, so we worked with Material Bank to bring the hip-hop architect to Memphis, and they've been doing it in other cities across the country, so it was our turn.
Wow. Yeah, they got a lot of hot things going on over there at Connect. I'm working with them on something right now, actually, that I'll share with the audience very soon. However, let's get into it, Paul Young. This is all about you today.
All right.
So what part of Memphis are you from?
So I'm from Oakhaven. It's over near Winchester, Tullahoma area. Most people know it because of the hub. It's right by the hub. But I grew up there, went to Oakhaven Elementaries, Snowden Junior High, East High School. Love Memphis through and through.
Yeah, so like, you know, growing up in Oakhaven, you were hearing the planes all the time. What time the planes?
Every day, all day. My parents have a church over in Oakhaven as well, so the church is actually still there. They still preach every Sunday.
Wow, and you still there?
Oh yeah, I gotta show up. I've been doing a lot of virtual church, but my dad called and said, "Hey, it's time. You need to come on back in the building." So. Okay. I show up in church as well.
Okay, so what does your family dynamic look like? Do you have any brothers, sisters?
Yes, I have a younger brother. He works for youth villages. I got an older sister. She works for Shelby County. She's the director of community services. I got an older brother that's in Nashville, and then another sister who just moved back to Memphis from Kansas City. So It's 5 of us.
Are you guys pretty close?
Yeah. We're all close. We all talk on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. What I want to know is what the young Paul Young was into growing up in Oakhaven.
I used to try to play basketball.
Yeah,
I was a church league superstar.
Okay, church league.
I never really did anything on the basketball team, but you know, my parents at the church, my dad would have this thing called Boys in the Hood, where he would bring in young people from all throughout the neighborhood, Oakhaven community, and we'd play basketball every Saturday morning. It was a staple for me growing up. From the time that I was probably 12, 13, all the way till I was like 19, 20. That's what we did literally every Saturday.
Oh, you were playing all the way.
We were serious with it. So I played a lot of basketball, just like a lot of kids, rap, hip hop. I grew up in the 90s, so
okay, nice.
I was a hip hop fan, and you know, just had a good time.
Okay. What were those grades looking like back then?
I was good on the grades. I don't remember my GPA, but I did good enough to make it into University of Tennessee, Knoxville, where I did electrical engineering there.
Why did you choose electrical engineering?
It's so funny you ask. Because of Dwayne Wayne. I know people are like, what? Yeah, on Different World. Yeah. Dwayne Wayne he majored in engineering, and I just somewhere it just made up my mind in the 7th, 8th grade, like that's what I want to do, and I did it. and never worked in electrical engineering, but it gave me a great foundation.
Okay.
Learn how to think through problems in a logical way. So it was a great program.
So you were over there at UT?
UT Knoxville, yeah.
Okay. UT
Pledge Kappa Alpha Psi.
Okay, what year?
Fall 2000.
Okay, Fall 2000. I'm
Shout out to me.
Beta Ty, a.k.a. Lamorne. All
right, cool. I'm on the board with Lamorne now.
Okay, on the board. We need to talk. Talk about a few things.
Yeah, I love LLC.
I do too. It's a lot of changes going on right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great leadership with the new president. So we're excited about the path forward for the college.
Amen. Now, Paul, when you were graduating from UT Knoxville, what did you have your eyes set on to do?
Honestly, I really did not know. So when I graduated, I moved back to Memphis, and I was working in retail. I just got a real estate license. I was just trying to figure it out because I couldn't find the engineering job I wanted. I was substitute teaching, so I was just trying to do anything to make ends meet. And I always tell this story, so people get sick of me saying it, but it really was like the turning point in my life. Because one of my line brothers had called me, and he was like, "Man, why are you in Memphis? What are you doing? You need to be there." He was in Atlanta. I had another partner in New York, another one in LA. And he was like, "You need to be down here in Atlanta. You're losing right now. You shouldn't be in Memphis." And I was like, "Man, I just want to be here. This is where I want to be." And I was down, and so I went to church that Sunday. It was a Sunday or two after that. And my mom was preaching about the purpose-driven life. And she said, in her sermon, she said, God's purpose for your life will never be for you. It will always be for somebody else. And so from that point forward, I said, all right, what job can I do where I can do something for somebody else, but I can still earn a good living? And I decided, I just got this real estate degree. I see what's happening in my neighborhood. I want to figure out how to rebuild communities in Memphis. And so I stumbled across community development on the city and regional planning program for the University of Memphis on the website. I didn't even know what it meant, but I figured community develop, that's what I want to do. And right then, and that was all she wrote. So I've been on this path ever since. Just like that.
Wow. So is that where your love for, I guess, the community started?
Yeah, it is. I mean, all of us in my household, we grew up with a spirit of service. It's kind of evident by the jobs that me and my brother and my sister hold now. Like, we're all working in public service. And so, for me, it's just all about finding purpose in the work that we do. And I really believe in Memphis. I really think this city is great. And we've been hearing it for years. But then when I moved to New York, it was only for a short stint.
When did you move to New York?
This was 2006. I was there for about a year before I got the love bug and moved home to get engaged.
Okay.
But while I was there, what I realized is that Memphis got some of the coolest people ever. Like, the people that I was hanging out with, they just weren't as cool as folks from Memphis.
What are you doing in New York?
I worked for this nonprofit called Local Admission Support Corporation. We were helping community development corporations across the nation with financial management, board governance, all these different things that nonprofits need. I was working on those aspects of their programs. And so socially, New York was just not the place for me. And I really felt this urge to be back in Memphis and figure out how to contribute. And so, I moved back, got engaged to who is now my wife, Jamila. Shout out to Jamila Smith.
Shout out to Jamila. Got that love.
Came on back. But, since that time, I've been trying to figure out how to add value in Memphis. That's what I want my life to be about.
Okay. So you've had numerous roles in housing and community development. Walk us through, your repertoire in Memphis in those areas, because you've done quite a bit from your research. I'm like, wow, you're so young to be doing so much.
Thank you. Well, I started at the bottom. I mean, I was an intern in planning, and then I moved to New York, like I mentioned, and I came back and started working for Archie Willis, who was an amazing guy, mentor still to this day. And we worked on a lot of what they call Hope 6 development, that's rebuilding public housing. So things like Lamar Terrace, Dixie Homes, which are now University Place, Legends Park. I worked on projects like that. So I was a financial analyst, so I was working on numbers. I did legislative work for the county. So I was the person that was going to Nashville and DC and telling the legislators what we need in our community. I became the director of housing for the city. Oh, sorry, before that I was the sustainability administrator, which we were working on green initiatives. The director of housing for the city, which was an amazing job. I mean, it really was my dream job. And then now I'm the director. Sorry, I'm not the director. I'm the president.
You better get it right.
Yeah, you got to represent. I'm the president of Downtown Memphis Commission, where we get an opportunity to work on amazing projects that really move the whole region forward. It's not just about Memphis. It's about the whole region. If downtown doesn't thrive, the rest of our region doesn't thrive. But when we thrive, the rest of our region thrives. And so that's what we focus on.
Right. Now, from what you just told me, like a lot of your background has been in the planning, housing sector. And, Memphis has always been so high up there for poverty. So how does that correlate with what you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's a deep correlation. When I was the director of housing, not only did we work on building physical structures, but we also had a lot of social service programs. So things like homelessness and trying to help people that are, I got so many calls where there's a family where somebody's getting kicked out of their house because of some fight with their parent or whatever reason it is, and they got a kid and they're sleeping in the car or sleeping on the street. So there's the social services side. There's the community development. When you start thinking about what do you need in the neighborhood to thrive, obviously you need housing, and so that was one of the primary things we worked on. But we also had things like grocery stores that people need in their community. So when you look at when Kroger left the spots on 3rd and on Lamar, when they left those were two projects that I had an opportunity to work on. Historic Melrose and Orange Mound, where that building has been vacant for 40 years, had an opportunity to meet with the community over and over and figure out what they need, and then you're going to see a library with a genealogy center there. So it's a lot of stuff that I'm proud of that we played a part in. Obviously, we didn't solve all the problems, but we make progress towards the goal. That's what I'm all about. Make some progress.
And it's all about progress because I feel like Memphis is undergoing like a renaissance right now.
It is.
It's so much development.
There's so much stuff happening, and we just got to make sure that people don't get left out. It's great. And I always tell people it's not either or, it's both and. Like, we need stuff in our neighborhoods, but we also need stuff downtown. We got to continue to elevate our economy at a high level. And we also got to figure out how to invest in our neighborhoods and the communities. And so we got to do both.
When you first got into this role, which was last year, correct?
Yep, last year.
So what did you immediately see that was needed when you stepped into the role? You probably entered it during the pandemic and all that, so I know that probably weighed in, but...
Yeah, there were a couple of things. When I first came in, we had just came out of the COVID proper. And so people were back out. We were back outside. And so we had some public safety issues. And most of those safety issues were folks driving downtown recklessly, just coming down, speeding. So that's when we had to put down the speed bumps and things of that nature to kind of tame that down. Now that's kind of calmed down quite a bit. We also just needed people. A lot of, if you think about our economy downtown, there's a lot of businesses that serve lunch. And they're small businesses and they don't make a lot of money. But in order to serve lunch, you got to have people down here. So when all of these offices are shut down and AutoZone, FedEx, all these folks aren't in the office,
from home.
There's no economy for them. Thankfully, we had a lot of people working from home and we had a lot of residences down south. So that helped hold us down, but we needed more people. And, we're back now, though. Everything's good.
Okay, yeah, because when I ride downtown, honey, when I go down Riverside, I'm looking to my left like Tom Lee Park. Y'all better come on with it.
Oh, yeah. Tom Lee Park.
With that.
Well, not directly. I'm highly supportive, though. I mean, it's going to be an amazing asset for downtown. That's why I try to tell people we gotta be appreciative of great things in our city. We have to have a mindset of abundance. Like, we deserve this. We deserve to have a world-class park where we go on the Mississippi River, where we have the largest vista of and when I mean by vista, it's 1 mile of water when the water is up at its height for the Mississippi River. You can see water for 1 mile. There's no other spot along the Mississippi where the river is that wide like it is right here. And we're celebrating it with a world-class park that visitors and Memphians will be able to come and enjoy.
I was just down there not too long ago at the Downtown Memphis Gala.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed that too.
It was nice.
Yeah, I know.
But I had been on the river in so long, and it makes you appreciate what we have here in Memphis.
Yeah, sometimes we forget. We get spoiled because we're here every day and we just don't go down there. But Memphis, we got to take advantage of it.
Yes. Now, in your role, Paul, you deal with a lot of investors.
Mm-hmm.
What is the main attraction of people coming in wanting to invest? Like, what are they so excited about?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good. So Memphis is unique, and I always tell people this: no shade to Nashville because they're booming, they're killing it. We all know it. You go up there, it's shining
and everything.
Yeah, exactly. They're killing it, but it doesn't have as much flavor as Memphis. And I may be biased. Of course, I'm biased, but people also feel it. When you come to Memphis, it's something that you can't bottle up. It's just a feeling. It's so much soul, so much culture. I always tell people diversity is our superpower. We got it naturally. We don't have to try to be diverse. It just happens in Memphis. And so investors appreciate it. They feel it. They also feel the energy. Like when you see multiple projects happening, that encourages developers to say, hey, something happening here. I need to get in now while it's early. And so I think you're starting to see a lot of that happening. The pandemic slowed us down a little bit. I think we would have seen some of these larger projects get over the hump, but they're working hard, and I think all of those are going to make it to the finish line.
Okay. And when we talk about investors, do you all work with like a certain group of investors? Is it different people all the time? And what does diversity look like with the investors here in Memphis?
Yeah, so certainly there are some of the same folks. I mean, there are people that have done work downtown for many, many years.
Right.
But when we talk about diversity, what we're saying is that we don't want to exclude anybody. We want to include others. And so we believe that our developers that are already working can make their teams more diverse. So we push them to get higher minority participation. We're seated at 65% Black. And if we're ever going to really make it to where we want to go, you talked about poverty, we got to build wealth in the Black community. And one way to do it is through real estate and getting that mailbox income. That mailbox income, that's where you just sit back and it just shows up. You got a check. Another check is coming. And we're seeing our developers respond. We have Kevin Woods and Billy Orwell partnered together to do 100 North Main.
What's going on with 100 North Main? Tell me about
that. So 100, that's a building that's been vacant for 8 years, 37 stories, largest building in Memphis. And we did a competitive competitive process to pick a developer, and that's the team that we ended up selecting, partly because of the diversity of the team and their willingness to pay for the property. Then you got projects like the Hyatt Grand, which is in the news right now, and hopefully things will work out on that. But Hyatt Grand has a 14% minority ownership. Now think about that. This would be the only tower in downtown Memphis that is owned 14% ownership by African Americans in Memphis. That's moving the needle in a different way. And that's something that we should be proud of as a city.
Okay, so Paul, talk to me nice. Tell me this. What has been your biggest challenge in this role as the president and CEO of the Downtown Memphis Commission?
Crime. Just being real. Crime is the biggest issue, and it's not necessarily a downtown issue. It's a Memphis issue. We have challenges with crime, and I want all our people to be able to thrive. And in order to fully address crime, what we know is that we got to get into the prevention mode. A lot of times because it's so urgent and pressing, and people are feeling it every day. My heart goes out to the pastor in Oakhaven that lost her life. I know about her. That really hurts my heart. And those are pressing concerns that we got to address now. But in order to really stop this in the future, we got to get into prevention mode. And that's not necessarily a downtown thing. That's an all of us thing. We got to figure out what are the programs that really, really work, who are touching the people every day, so that we can show the young people another course of action, another direction.
And crime has been an issue in Memphis for quite some time. Yeah. I think this DA race is going to really be important and vital.
Yeah. Whichever one wins, and I know both of them, friends with both of them, so I wish them both the best. But whichever one wins, they got a tough job, and they got to figure out how to help us get over the hump.
And let's see how they connecting with the community. Now I see Steve out there at the all white.
All right.
At the all white up there.
With the K, he went to K&G and got his all white too.
K&G and got suited and booted and was passing out.
Yeah.
He was shaking hands.
He was working.
I was so shocked. Okay. So, Paul, let's talk about this. You know, we love Bill Street. I've been to Food Truck Thursday. I love that. What are some of the other activations that people may not know about going on downtown that you guys are trying to really put some fire under?
Yeah, both of those that you said. Bill Street, we manage Bill Street on behalf of the city, so we always want to see people go down there and have a good time. We want to see more Memphians get down there too, and not just a tour. Yeah, just come on down there. You're gonna appreciate it. Food Truck Thursday, we do yoga in the park on Tuesdays.
My sister does that.
People that do it love it. During the playoffs, and we'll try and do this partnership again next year, but during the playoffs, we did watch parties in the park, and they were amazing. They were during the second round, at one of them, we had about 4,000 people show up in the park, and so it was so beautiful just seeing Memphians out there just having a good time. Everybody bring their lawn chairs and just enjoy the game and chill. So diverse.
I love it.
It's Memphis to the core.
Yeah.
And so all the things, and we also partner with a lot of event promoters. So for downtown, we have event grants that we provide through our office. So we don't try to host all the events. We want to support the events. So if there are people that have a vision for doing something downtown, all right, well, hey, let's talk about an event grant.
Let's talk about it. Yes. So how will downtown Memphis look in the next year versus the next 5 years?
I say the next year, you're going to continue to see more small businesses come online and occupy spaces. Every day we're talking to folks. In the next 5 years, I think you're going to see some of our larger dormant spaces become activated. You'll see things like the High Green. You'll see things like the Walk, which is on Union. Those things will actually be either under construction or completed within 5 years. And I think downtown Memphis is going to be, Memphis, quite frankly, is going to be the next great city in the South.
Yes.
Every few years, you have another city that's on the move. Nashville's been that city. Austin, Charlotte, Atlanta.
We up next.
Yeah, we up next.
Okay.
We got next.
Okay, y'all heard what Paul Young said. Y'all heard what Paul Young said. Now, we about to have a little fun, Paul.
All right, I'm scared.
I heard you say that you a 90s baby. You like that 90s music, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to see how much 90s music you know, though.
All right, let's not
go too far. Finish these lyrics.
All right.
Now, I'm going to give you the line, and you must complete it. Now, do you want me to kind of like sing in that tone?
Yeah, sing it for me. Yeah. That'll be more fun.
Okay, let's see how does Paul know these 90s lyrics. Okay, I'm sticking in the 90s too. So here's number one. If at first you don't succeed,
try again.
Step off and try.
My bad.
Okay, you knew it.
Yeah, I knew it was a little.
Okay, this is the next one. It's been 3 weeks since you were looking for your friend. It's been 3 weeks since you've been looking for your friend.
I don't know that. I feel bad. I don't know that.
She's a singer and a rapper from the 90s.
It's been 3 weeks since you've been looking for your friend. You gonna have to give me that one. What's the one?
When you let hit and never called you again. Lauren Hill, that thing. I don't know his name. What y'all think?
My bad. I do love that Miseducation album.
Okay, one more. You better know this, Paul. Right. This legendary.
All right.
I'm just a bachelor.
I know genuine.
What does he say, Paul?
I can't make out do it.
I'm just a bachelor.
Looking for something.
Partner.
Yes.
Let's give Paul Young a round of applause. I think you did great, Paul.
I feel like I did some part, but
you was better than.
I want to redo.
You want to redo?
Yeah, I got to be back on the show. So just for this segment.
The next time you gonna do a redo. I want you to tell the verbally effective audience why you love Memphis so much, Paul Young.
I love Memphis because there's nothing like it. The people are amazing. The city has so much flavor, and we got so much room for growth. And I really believe this, that Memphis can be the black city to really get it right. Can we be the black city that figures out how to grow inclusively? We can be the city that does that. I really think we can do that. I think we have an opportunity where we can grow, where the people that are living in the neighborhoods that they hadn't seen growth and development, as those neighborhoods grow, they won't gentrify, but they will grow without displacement. So they can live they live down there during the down years, so they can live there during the up years when things are happening in those neighborhoods. I really believe that, and that's part of why I love the city. It's just a great place.
I agree.
And people are passionate. Like, we're just cool. Like, Memphis folks just, when you talk to us, it's just so much swag. White, black, Hispanic, whoever you talk to, everybody's it's just a lot of cool people in the city, and it's not normal.
It's not normal. We're different.
But we're different. We're different.
Yeah, I agree. I really feel like it's a lot of opportunity, as you said here. And people want to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, you are doing an amazing job in your role as the president and CEO of the Downtown Memphis Commission. I commend you, Paul. I want to thank you for coming on the Verbally Effective podcast, and let everybody know how they can continue to follow your journey.
Yeah. You can follow me on Facebook, Paul Young. Follow me on Twitter, Memphis P Young. I don't post that much, but I'll start posting more soon. And you can follow Downtown Memphis at Downtown Memphis on all of the platforms. You can see all the stuff that we have going.
All right. Well, thank you.
And you did an amazing job, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate you for coming and, giving us some insight on what's to come in Memphis. Because that's what we need. That's what we need. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in to episode 218 of the Verbally Effective podcast, powered by We Are Memphis with Mr. Paul Young. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on all streaming platforms and that Ina Esco channel as well. I'll see you guys next week.